Welcome to the Mind, Body, and Soul Recording. For access to all of Joseph's books, audiobooks, affirmation recordings, and spiritual tools, go to ourjourneyoflife.com. And remember, enjoy the journey. Recording 1, Healing of the Body. As you listen to the recording repeatedly, aches and pains will begin to subside as they will disappear throughout the day. Many suffering from illness say that after listening to the recordings for a few days, the illness had subsided until their body had made a complete recovery. Other people have received miraculous healings of major diseases, physical trauma, aches and pain, helping to cope with addictions along with receiving spiritual balance for a healthy mind, body, and soul. Healing of the mind. Many have found inner peace, tranquility, and happiness while in the presence of the divine masters that works through Joseph. You will find peace, joy, and happiness as you start to release tension, anger, depression, and sadness. You will find clarity. You will make life decisions that are good for you, and you will be able to forgive and let go of all of your fears. Healing of the soul. Open up spiritually and awaken and unlock your psychic, healing, and channeling abilities. The affirmations will help you have a closer connection with God by feeling God's forgiveness, compassion, and love, making your connection an unforgettable memory.
Hi. I don't know how that happened.
Now.
Hi. I'm not sure what happened. I was playing videos. Let's see. I want to play one more. Let's see if this one works. And then we'll get started. Are we on here? Is that way? There we go.
You got it now.
No, I did it. We're on. I don't know how I ended up on there before because I was.
Do you think your your internet's acting up? So maybe it's messing with the browser.
A little strange. It's glitching here or there. So bear with me if I drop off. The show is in Jen's capable hands. Welcome. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
How was your weekend, Jen?
It went by really fast.
Yeah.
They always do, right?
Yeah. Well, today's Columbus Day. So Sophie was home. I didn't really work today. We went to the mall, walked around. I got to hang out with my little nieces and nephews, my little babies. They help me because my biological clock keeps ticking. I'm like, guys, it's over. It's going to be around a baby. Yeah.
That you can give back.
Yes. Okay, so we have a really cool show for you today. This is Jen's very good friend, I believe, Cassandra. Is it Freya?
Yeah, Cassandra Freya. You got it.
Freya is so pretty because it reminds me of a Viking name, Freya.
Mm.
One of the Vikings. That's an old name, so it's really pretty. I wonder if that's where she got that from. Freya.
Maybe.
It's an old priestess name. So
Oh.
yeah,
Well,
it's
that
an
would make
old
sense.
very old metaphysical name. So it makes sense why it's followed in her lineage. If that's her actual last name, it's beautiful. Or even a surname like Starseed is beautiful. Okay, we have a couple people. Lisa Burr says hi. Hello. Patty Nail says hi. Let us know where you're joining us from. We love to hear where you're located. We have some fun people located in Europe. I've seen some people in Belfast. I've seen some people in Australia. Hello, Nicole. Good to see you again. Welcome. Yay. Glad we have. I see we have Daytona Beach. Okay, awesome. We have our Leslie. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Taryn. Yay. Okay, so tell me about Cassandra
So I actually know Cass from before metaphysics. So we met through my sister, and then that was in a time in my life where I didn't really know anybody who was into metaphysics. So once I kind of just figured that out, I became very interested. And she's done a lot of work since back in those days. So her latest thing, I'm going to let her discuss it, but is numerology, which I think is fascinating. And she did use the word priestess when she was talking to me about that. So I wonder if that's why she chose the name too. So looks like she joined us in.
All right. Cassandra's here backstage. Awesome. Well, we have to properly ring the bell for when this
Leslie's saying lost the sound. Anyone else having a problem with sound?
I can hear you.
I can hear you fine.
We can hear each other. Sandra, can you hear us? Yes. All right. So Leslie, can you hear us? Thumbs up or down? Leslie lost the sound. Okay. Well, hopefully it's okay. Cassandra can hear. So it'll, Taryn's video is not on. Okay. Well, since you've lost the sound, you might save yourself some ears. I heard my son in a replay. He said you have to have like a sound notification because when you are listening to this in your AirPods, it's very loud. So if you're listening on an AirPod, be careful. All right. Patty says she can hear. Awesome. All right, Leslie, might be on your end. All right, here we go, y'all. Happy Monday. When I ring the bell, anything you need to carry in the sound, you just stick it in the sound and let the sound carry it away. And sound doesn't stop. I'm pretty sure it vibrates to the ends of the earth, right? Sound just doesn't stop, I think, right? The sound waves just keep going on and on and on. I think that's a thing. All right, here we go. So this will get carried throughout the universe right now. So used to that being a meditation for me that it instantly ooh, I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's like I just popped a Xanax or something. I do that, but now I get to ring bells. I had a strange phone number call me, but it's no one I know. Jenna, also, are you sharing this on your page when we start?
I am. Once it goes live, I share it.
Okay, good. And for anyone else who wants to share this to their page, we would appreciate it. We like to get this show out for as many people who need to hear it. And sometimes people need a reading and, they're wondering about metaphysics. Things might be getting strange in their life and looking for a little bit of guidance. It helps to know that they are not alone. Come and join us weirdos over here on a Monday. Okay, so you met Cassandra before you even were out of the spiritual closet. You were really far back in the spiritual closet.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So I just want to know before we bring her on, when did you come out or how did you know? I know you told me this story about seeing the squirrel's soul. No. I saw the squirrel. You saw a dog. Your dog. Is that correct? Did I lose you? Am I lost? Is she glitching or am I? Cassandra, do you see me or her? You see me. So she might be the one with internet problems right now. All right. Well, maybe I'll bring Cassandra on. I thought the system's been acting a little strange today, so maybe it's not my internet. All right. Well, with that note, Cassandra, since I just asked a really cool question, I'll bring you on to answer it. Are you back, Jen? No. All right. Let me remove her for a second, and let me bring you on.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Sorry, I was a little tardy. I was like setting up you know how this is. You set up your space and then you completely lose track of time because, right, time is irrelevant anyway. They like to tell us all the time, which is cute. It's cute.
It's divine timing anyway.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, I know it's not. I had when I had my metaphysical awakening. I never wore a watch again. It has never. It's been a zero thing, and I stopped counting my age for that fact. So I just don't really age anymore because I just say I'm done with that. I don't. I half the time I don't know what day it is. I mean, I just don't. It's just it doesn't. It's just
it doesn't compute. Mm-hmm.
It's just gone.
Well, and I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and so add that into the mix, and I'm like, days. Times.
You're on like a 5-minute time schedule with a 1.5. My sister, I was just with my baby too. It's hers. She birthed it, but you know, and they're on 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, you're like, where am I at? What am I doing? Picking up toys. Now they're hungry, tired, drink. You know,
right.
The whole thing.
Exactly. Yes,
yeah.
The very, very human piece of it all, for sure.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
My internet, I guess, is messed up too.
Your internet, I know. I was wondering.
Hey, it's so good to see you. Yeah, I mean, how far out of Mercury retrograde are we? Like, can we get it together here, technology?
All right, wait.
Oh, seriously. We've been doing really well, though.
That's awesome.
You know, I feel a difference. So y'all know more about this, you know, stuff that I do as far as the retrograde and all that. But I can tell you when the energy is really heavy, I can't, it feels like sludge. I have a hard time formulating thoughts. I even have a little bit of a tricky time connecting with my guides. I'm like, all right, guys, I know you're there, but I feel like there's static and I'm having to kind of get through. But if I double down on my communication techniques, meaning that I have to isolate like even electronics, sugar, alcohol, stresses of any sort, all of the things that can interfere with your nervous system.
Which is everything.
Being human.
Being human.
Just throwing it out there. I wonder who is making sure that our communication is interfered with. Anyone? That would be definitely things out there interfering with, you know, us receiving full communication. But that's why it's so important that us that are aware of how to bypass that, we take more of a higher effort and priority to make sure that we're receiving those messages as we're meant.
And
we're not missing.
Cass, you're really in touch with your guides, right? They think that.
Yeah. What's really interesting, and we can start wherever you want with the conversation, but after I birthed Freya, I feel like channel just like it's literally a physical type of creation and expansion, right? And so anyone with a womb, like in the physical human body, can go through this same sort of expansion. That's my belief anyway. But now it's like they drop in, like I'm washing dishes or I'm in conversation with someone who I know is like teetering on the edge of like, I'm interested, but the fear thing comes up, right? I think we could probably dive into quite a bit of that because oftentimes I see friends, family, even clientele that come in, there's a sense of fear like, well, I don't know what this is, or I've been preconditioned to think about things this way. And then all of a sudden, eventually down the line, hopefully it turns to faith, right? But that's not always the case. And a lot of times folks just end up living their lives in fear, which I know the three of us know is just not the way to go. I mean, we feel so much freer once we connect. So it's amazing.
Yeah, because the fear creates a block. that they have to get through when they communicate. Or if you're afraid, they're talking to you and you're like, no, 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 too afraid. And then they're like, hello, sending you signs and symbols and messages. And so if any of y'all feel that way, remove that. And like you said, faith and trust,
It takes a little while. You have to go through a few experiences. Like I know when I'm talking to people about it, I'm like, well, I've already had all my proof. I don't need it anymore. Like once you've had experiences that you can't argue with, then you're no longer looking for the proof. You're looking to work with it. And there's so many people who are still in that phase where they need more substance, more real life, and they still have to get it before they can be like us.
And ask. I say ask and ye shall receive. I've heard that before somewhere. But if you ask, they're coming. They will. But, you have to then be open to receiving the strange messages, and they don't come through the way you think they are. They'll come through on the radio, the TV, the neighbor, a strange channeled message will come right through a neighbor because it can get through the neighbor. The neighbor doesn't have the fear block because the neighbor is just like, probably doesn't know what's going on. And that's why a lot of channeled messages come through neighbors and supermarket attendants and stuff like that. So Cassandra and Jen, y'all knew each other before you knew you were both metaphysical and spiritual? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I always knew Jen was very open and intuitive, and it was always there. I believe that everyone has this ability, whether they see or hear or feel or whatever. Jen, I think you can totally agree with that. But sometimes, again, it's like we almost have to reawaken, if you will,
And so what did your first signs and symbols?
So, I'm sorry, Joe is putting the baby down, so he's getting some stuff. But I would say when I was growing up, my mom was very open to it. And we have sort of an ancestral line of women who have always sort of gotten, whether it's premonitions or just known things from afar. My mother's actually from Germany, and so she knows exactly when her mother is ill or come down with something or there's a situation that's occurred. And so they've always had that sort of link. And my mom was very, very open to teaching me about like the beyond from a very young age. And so I think the first time that I realized that I could see, that I was a seer, was when my father, we were all at dinner, and I was sitting next to my aunt, and I was 7 years old. And my father said to me, "We have company coming over. Your aunt died 4 years ago. Stop talking to her." And so I had been speaking to my aunt, my mom's sister, who died when I was 4. And just like once a week, she would come over for dinner and we'd be like chatting, and he put up with it. But that was sort of, everyone has their story of when it was cut off, right? Like that's no longer appropriate. I was lucky enough to have it be until 7, right? And then little things would happen. But I really was very disconnected until about the age of 23. And that's when I got married very young, the age of 18, and went through a heavy divorce at 23. Without going into the details of that, I think anyone who's broken up in a relationship, whether it's marriage or 4 years, or you've been with the love of your life for 6 months, that breakup just takes you to a rock bottom space. And so that led me to one of my best friends who married us. She was my spiritual mentor at that time, and she was like, "Everybody has a gift. You want to come and hear about it?" And so that's where it sort of opened up. And I remember after that first class, driving back home, and I had to pull off the road because I was crying because I believed in angels. Like, boom, it wasn't pretty. It was snot crying everywhere. But it was real. Like it was like the energy finally came back. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Resonated. It woken you again.
I'm getting chills. I was like, can you like keep me from not crying on this video cast? That'd be really, 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 really great. So there will be tears. I am like totally in tune with that. And plus crying is a perfect human physical response to releasing divine energy. So let's do it, ladies.
Let's do it.
So
I'm
who do
always
you
up for
think,
that.
Yeah.
who do you, so as far as your guides, like, so is it a conversation you have with them every day? Like, are you in open communication with them? Meaning, hi, how are you? Good morning, love you, thank you for
Yeah.
having
So
this guy bring the newspaper up.
yeah. I think every day, just because now I'm in service to a 1.5-year-old, every day looks a little bit different. I will say that because wake up time is now more, we'll say normal, knock on all the wood, whatever you want to do, pray for me. But generally I wake up a little bit before her. And so what I'll do is either I'll do voice notes and I just have open communication. So I'll write a question. So if I'm anxious about something, because we know science tells us that all of a sudden all these endorphins are running when we first wake up. And so there's a potential to have a lot of anxiety when you first wake up. And so that's when I drop into channel for myself. So I ask like, hey, I'm anxious about whatever. It could be a bill. It could be Freya's got a doctor's appointment. She has to get a shot. It could be, happenings in the media. We don't have to go into a whole lot of depth there, but, just crisis in the world. That I open with a question, but I write it down because writing for me is a very tangible human experience. So it's very helpful. And then I just see what comes. And so this morning,
you write it.
I write it, or if I forget my journal, I will use my phone. Try not to keep my phone next to my bed, but it happens. Let me see if I can pull up like one of my voice notes just to give you, or my written notes just to give you an idea.
I didn't know that about the morning, having all the hormones running and stress being, because sometimes I wake up like that, like, oh God, I can't even start my list of things to do. So that's interesting.
You'll have to, don't quote me on this now that it's live and recorded. But I remember I got into that a lot because I would wake up so anxious, but I do it like in the middle of the night almost. And so this was a way also to calm me down. But there's something that happens to us like chemically, more so women than men, I believe. If I find like the articles that I have stashed somewhere, I'm happy to share them after the fact so folks can see them too. But this morning, I was feeling just anxiety in general. And so my guides came in and I wrote, and they channeled through me. There's never any rush. There's only the now. The constructs of time limit you.
Don't we know that?
Yeah, you're right. And like that's what I needed to hear. And also I'm human. Time is a thing we've constructed, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's where limiting beliefs come from. But I guess what I need is to make sure that I can create income to keep our human forms alive, right? I'm having this conversation and then all of a sudden it's, and you are, like mic drop. And so then we go on to have a conversation with myself because innately I am source, so are you, we're all one, right? The separateness is a construct that we've made up and decided that we're going to experience. Another thing we can go into. But it said exactly, you're a powder keg of creation, literally creating even when you're not thinking about it. Can't you feel the energy? Yes. Then why worry? And then we just keep going into that conversation until I feel, sometimes the anxiety stays, honestly, but then I can go back and like right now I'm rereading it and I'm like, oh, you know what? That is a reminder. Energy is always flowing. And so I've done a lot of research and practice with energy body sort of work, strengthening energy bodies. And so we all have 10 energy bodies, right? 1 through 10. And so again, I can go into all of them if you want, but I know we have a limited amount of time. But this is where the numerology piece comes in that I offer. but we all have 10 energy bodies, and each one specifically helps us flow energy and create and manifest things into our human physical experience, and then out divinely to the rest of the collective and every individual. And so that's usually when I do these morning messages, I usually get, oh yeah, okay, well, I need to drop back into my body. Like, I need to move my body, because that's where I'm holding my shoulders up. You know, all of a sudden I'm feeling all this anxiety, and here it is, like, duh, use my body and get the anxiety out. What am I doing? So Freya and I'll have a dance party, or, you know, whatever it is after she eats. But that's generally how I start my mornings. And then just coming back to it, you can tell, like, I'm a talker. It's part of my gift.
We all are. That's why we're on a show, right?
Right. And then throughout the day, I mean, it's really, Freya sends messages. I'm very aware of surroundings, you know, whether animals come in or people are saying something, and I'm like, ooh, like, I get a specific feeling within my body. Generally, it's almost like a tingling around the left side of my head when I know, like, hey, you really need to pay attention to this.
Okay. So it doesn't have to do with masculine or feminine. It's just a wake up, like something you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Well, because you're so busy now, your life went from no children to a little baby that you're taking care of. So
right.
Like, need to get your attention
are key, because if I don't have, like, I used to bring, like, a little pocket journal. So cute before I had this kid. And now I'm like, do I have diapers, wipes, and food for her? Then we're good. Do I have my phone? Voice notes, you know? So that's really where all the messages are coming through, or any sort of creations for the Cassandra Freya business. Like, anything goes into the phone, and then I can go back through it at night.
And Cass, when you're talking about the energy bodies, is that related to the chakras? Like, does it tie in?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it absolutely does. And so if anyone's familiar with Kundalini Yoga on the line, that's the basis of the energy bodies. They talk about energy body work in there, in addition to, and I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. There's a difference. I think we all understand that.
Yeah, everybody who's on this will probably understand that.
Cool, fantastic. But the Sikh religion also had gurus, which I've studied, and they all sort of are attributed to specific energy bodies as well.
Fascinating. I never even heard that in metaphysics before. New thing to research.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's fascinating.
With
Absolutely fascinating.
bodies.
I love it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that either.
Yeah.
So I also communicate with my guides from talking back and forth, like the same way, writing and receiving answers. So that must be something that works for a lot of people if, you know, people want to connect with their guides more.
You two are both very connected to your guides. I feel like you have, like, normal conversations, like, you know, like it's somebody who's there, you know? So that's something you two have in common.
Yeah. In fact, yesterday I wrote so much, I didn't even remember what I wrote. And then I left the house and I was like, man, I really want to reread that. I could not for the life of me remember what the topic was. Anyway.
I think because it was
I was like, I sat there, I've been writing the last hour. I had to, and I haven't even reread it. I don't know, I can't wait. I was like, do I have time? I'm going to do it after the show. I'm going to reread what it said. So.
Cool.
So yeah, and so anyone who wants to start connecting with their
I know.
sounds like a good way to do it. Okay, so I know nothing about numerology. I see numbers a lot. You know, is that what it is? The 222s, the 333s. My sister just said she sees 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, or 3, 5, 4, 6. Or something. She's like, she always sees them in order. So I don't know what all that means. But.
Yeah. So what's really fascinating, let me see if I can run through them really quickly. So disclaimer, I'm not a big angel numbers person. I think that angel numbers serve a purpose. I think that if you would like some immediate guidance that you can find on the internet and you need a little bit of, like, external validation or whatever it is, fantastic. Please continue to use what works for you and feels in alignment. For me, I need someone to kick me in the tuchus. Like, I want to heal. I want to grow. And so angel numbers don't do it for me, because not that they're too kind, but they're vague,
They're
right?
very general. Broad.
I found this.
So-
I see these numbers, but they're very vague, and I don't even like. They're generic. I don't feel connected necessarily, but the numbers are still there.
Right. And if it works for folks, especially like you see 444, your angels are with you. Fantastic. What are they saying? Because I can tell you 444.
I don't
Right.
think we know what it means quite yet. I think
So
there's
to
more
me,
research.
and the research and all of the certification that I have gone through with Priestess Numerology, it's all about what energy body that number is associated with. So the 1 is the soul body, the 2 is the negative self or the negative mind, the 3 is the positive mind, the 4 is the neutral mind, and they all have archetypes that go through them. The 5 is the physical body, 6 is the warrior, the holy person, and your arc line. So this is where intuition really comes from. 7 is the auric field, right? So everyone has an aura. The 8 is the pranic body. This is also like, think infinity symbol. Jen, this might ring some bells with some of the jewelry you would help me with, right? But it's also our pranic, our healer, so our breath. We will not be here if we don't have our breath. So that's the 8th energy body. 9th is the divine feminine. It's the subtle body. It's how you walk into a room and you sort of feel energy, like you're like, ooh, a fight just happened here. That's a strength, and that's an opened energy body 9. And then the 10th is our divine masculine, which is the radiant body. These are the people that you see that just radiate, whether it's confidence, but in the most kind and commanding way. That is divine masculine. And then for numerology, there is an 11. There is not an 11th energy body. But when you hit that 11 space, and as a human, you can't stay there, or you would literally just descend. You'd be like, okay, bye. It's like the command center. Like, this is the spiritual healer. This is when all the other energy bodies are completely in strength and flow. I said I wasn't going to go through all of them, and here we are.
No, you did it perfect. It's fascinating.
I know. Yeah, me too. So like when you said like a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or 9, do you mean that they pull up like on your birthday, or do they pull up like on your clock, or like...
What's fascinating is I literally use numbers now all the time if I need additional like support from channel. So
I was
like
wondering
right. So like, because I know all of the energy bodies and sort of the intricacies around them, I can be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, okay. Well, I've been having trouble with this decision I want to make, which decision making happens in energy body 4. It's the neutral mind. It's the place where we can make decisions with non-attachment, without emotional triggers, right? But in order to get there freely flowing, I have to work on my soul body, where the creative juices initially started. I have to work on making sure that I'm looking at risks without emotional triggers. But energy body 2, moving them to that fiery, passionate energy body 3, and getting that creative juice to flow, and then pushing that over to 4 to then make the decision. And 5 is boom, in my body. This is my physical body. This is my physical manifestation. This is where I'm making the magic happen and bringing it to life in human physical form.
So do you go through like in your head and maybe meditate on 1 and then meditate on 2, or
yeah, so it's
like
a great
what
question.
1 symbolizes?
Yeah, there's actually different ways that you can strengthen each of them. And so like for 1, your soul body, totally. Like meditation is key. Like actually connecting to source and being like, all right, here we go. Like, let's have a conversation, because I'm inconsistent and I'm not, there's a bunch of different challenges without going into too much detail. But you can start there once you know what each of the numbers sort of mean, right? And with numerology, you have 5 numbers in your chart. And so I use numbers because I know all of them, right? And I teach all of them. But so I can use a timestamp, or like 749. That means something to me, you know? But your numerology chart, you have 5 different numbers. So you have a soul number, which is what you decide to come into this life as sort of like a self-identity. And this is a challenge number. And so I'm trying to give a quick example, but
would that be like the sun sign in astrology? like what you
I
came
am
in here.
so
Like your
bad at
time of
astrology.
birth?
Like
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, it might be.
Well, you have like what you came in as your personality, and then
sun?
you have what you're going towards, which is your moon. So sun is like what you're coming in at, and I could be wrong, but then moon is what you were
no,
trying to get to.
That sounds similar. So let me go through them, and then maybe we can make the astrology connections.
Yeah, and no
with you.
biggie. I was just curious.
No, I think that might be helpful, especially for folks, in your world that understand that, because it's a language that I just don't speak, and I probably never will. That's why we have people like you.
The in-between.
Yes, exactly. So you have your soul, which is a challenge number, which is your self-concept, how you see the world specifically. And so that's something that you're constantly going to have to really pay attention to and heal. Then you have your karma number, which is the karma you determined to come into this life with. This is what's going to sort of fulfill your peace. This is like what you were like, you know what, I didn't quite master that in the past life. I'm bringing it to this one. Then you have I'm so visual, it's not even funny. Soul karma. Then you have your destiny number. So this number is actually something that you've mastered in a past life. And again, these are all associated with different energy bodies. So you're only going to have potentially 5 numbers. You may only have 3, whatever. But the destiny number is what you are destined to be. So this is a strength number, clearly, right? Soul challenge, karma challenge, destiny, strength. But you can call on this to help heal anything else that's in your chart. Then your gift number is your innate gift. What's fascinating to me is a lot of people oftentimes will be like, that's not my gift, Cass. And then a week or 2 later, they're like, holy crap, that is so easy for me. And I just needed you to mirror that back to me. I just needed you to reflect that, right? But your gift is an innate ability.
And like you said, that could have been stunted by limiting beliefs or somebody saying, no, you shouldn't do that. They may have put their gift down because of those factors. So you're giving them permission to bring it back up.
Yes, exactly. And then the last is a path, and that starts as a challenge in the beginning of your life, but in theory should go to a strength. It's literally the energy body you've chosen to work on throughout, ups and downs, but it is your path. Like this is the life you're going to lead type of energy. And it's a challenge into a strength. And so all of our energy bodies are constantly like constricting, opening up, expanding, constricting, opening up, expanding. So it's not to say that we're like, my gift is a 5, right? So I can manifest things. I'm a teacher, I'm a speaker. Like that is the archetype of the gift 5. And also, if I don't sleep and I stub my toe, or you know what I mean? Like there's a million different things that could then constrict that energy and not allow all of it to then flow through the rest of my energy bodies. So, but it's fascinating.
It's fascinating. I can't wait to learn more.
Is that what you do when someone comes to you for like a numerology reading? You give them their 5 numbers?
Yes. So what I do is like a quick breakdown, like, hey, there's these things called energy bodies if you don't know, and here's the 5 things that they are. And oh, by the way, here are your 5. And it's all in like a PDF format. And then we go into what each of the energy bodies means in their challenge or strength area. And then I do a healing prescription. And that's a couple pages saying, how do you strengthen each of these energy bodies individually? And then how can you use your unique strengths in order to help your challenge areas? So again, your soul, your karma, and potentially your path too, depending on where you are. I find that this is a really amazing tool for my coaching clients because I get to ask them a lot of questions. And the more specific I can get with the questions, the more I understand how much of a challenge it is for them versus have they really moved into their strength and have the ability to sort of realign whenever they are feeling a little out of whack or funk.
To have a basic roadmap like that is so powerful. We all need a roadmap for sure.
And I bet people start seeing their numbers everywhere. And then when they start relating more to the numbers, I bet you that the numbers will start showing up for them and speaking a language to them. They're like, okay, wait, I've seen 3-4 times today. I probably need to go focus on that. Or that's how I think it. A lot of times it seems like it might work like that. Get your numbers.
Totally, Kristen. Yeah. And maybe there's way more going on. Like she said, that not just angel numbers. These numbers have a deeper meaning that the majority of us don't understand. But that's why we have you, Cassandra. Thank you.
I don't have your phone number to put up or a way to get a hold of you. Do they just Google you or?
Yeah, honestly, my Instagram is usually where I live. It's at the Faith Alchemist.
Spell that for me.
Yeah, here. Can I put it in the?
Yeah, I was just going to put it in the comments. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put Instagram.
I'm super excited to see my 5 numbers and have
I want to see my numbers too, right? So wait, Instagram and then at the Faith Alchemist, right?
Yeah. I realized I was like putting my head very, very close to the screen.
I know we're all like a little.
We're all close right now.
You can't escape me.
No. Oh, we love it.
But yeah, I mean, I do have a website. It's got information on there.
All right.
It's Cassandra.
Instagram.
There, we got it.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Nice job.
Because
you just rebranded, right?
I did, yeah. So I didn't use my voice on a public platform for a very long time. And then 2020 hit, and I think everybody was like, screw this. Like,
right? You had to get online.
That's when, Kristen, that's when you and Joe started the show, right?
Because we couldn't see people anymore, really. So it was just, we had to figure out online platforms and try to connect with our humans, try to keep us all together.
Exactly. We moved out of state. I had no friends. I had very little family around except for Joe's family. And so I was like, I'm going to do this thing. And if it makes a little money, cool. But honestly, this is what I'm supposed to do. I've been hearing it from my guides for a very long time. You're supposed to be doing readings. And so that's where I started, was just doing intuitive readings. And Wending Willow worked for a very long time. Willows are a tree that I love. They're adaptable. They're just so strong in the face of so many different adversities, really. And so I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going for. Wending is all about walking along a journey, but not having a clear path to your destination and just sort of going with the flow. So again, it worked so well for me. And also,
it's a new chapter.
Yeah, throughout these past few years, there's been a lot of fear that I have had to move through. 6 is in my chart, and fear lives in the 6th energy body, but so does faith. And so moving from fear to faith is something I've had to do again. I'm currently in an awesome situation right now where fear is prominent, but I have the proof, sort of like you were talking about earlier, that we're going to get through this. This is not the end. We're safe. I am safe. Freya is safe. Joe is safe. We're all safe. We got this. But it took me a very long time to get here. And then when I did it, and then numerology dropped in, I was like, okay, we're rebranding. Here we go. It's all for Freya, because she's one of my spirit guides who has incarnated.
I love that. Kristen's like that too, where she gets clear, oh no, you think you're going on this path? Nope, you're totally going this way. And she knows to just trust. And
I gave up trying to figure out where I'm going years ago. I have no idea, but they just lead the path, and I just try to pay attention. But I sometimes don't. And then I'm like, oh my God, that didn't work. And they're like, yeah, because we told you to make a left about a mile back. And I was like, oh, you did, didn't you?
There was a good song on the radio, okay? You got distracted.
Yeah, I was totally distracted. And that's where time comes in, because time is the biggest distraction to their messages.
Kristen, what's your birthday?
It's the number one time. What?
What's your birthday?
Okay, April 18th, 1981. Age myself, probably.
You're still a baby.
Oh, thanks, Jen.
Is that the bell?
I really want to know my number.
Yeah,
I'm so intrigued.
This is so much fun. I don't know if you can see, I'm like glowing.
You're glowing, totally. That's how you know you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's true. You're just happy to be doing it. I know that there are several people in the background. I don't know if you are interested in me bringing on any of them to give readings. Let us know. We always ask.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be happy to do that. Oops. Oh, see. Here's the other thing, though. Numerology is all about numbers. And I struggle with some numbers, girl.
I was so thinking that earlier today. I was like, I don't know if I could do that because numbers.
Is it like adding and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Right, I
I'm
think I
not
got
good.
it.
I mean, I love math. It's just so solid and secure. I mean, everything else is open to interpretation, but numbers are.
This is so cool. Okay. I'll send these to you too afterward, Kristen. But you have what's called a double vortex in your chart, and so two of your placements are the same number. Sometimes there are double vortexes, sometimes there are triple vortexes. I happen to be a 666. I was meant to work. I was meant to work on the Holy Warrior, like justice seeking without revenge type of deal. That's where I'm at.
No pressure.
You have a soul 9. So again, this is the divine feminine, right? And so I won't go into tons and tons of detail because I could literally talk to you probably for like 3 hours on this stuff. But you have a soul. You have a soul 9, and you also have a gift 9. And so the 9 is the subtle body, right? So this is like being able to read a room when you walk into it. This is sometimes when you're in challenge with your 9, you're going to lose your keys. You're going to everything's going to be a mystery.
All my keys together in one spot with an air tag, and I still lose them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is like this self-concept type of feel of like, I'm always misplacing things, or like I don't understand.
It's not my fault, guys. You heard it. You heard it out of
Call out.
I gotta show you my keychain so I don't lose it. I gotta show you it. You're not.
But like that's like a very physical thing, or like tangible, right? But it could be like, my guides are always telling me this specific thing, and I don't know what it means. And they're like, yes, you do. Tap into your divine feminine. Like, you clearly know what this means. Like, I don't understand why you don't understand, right? And so when we are you have a gift 9. So this plays perfectly, because anytime you're losing things, you can be like, tap me into my gift, honey. Nothing's a mystery. Divine feminine.
The moment I stop, when I'm losing too many things, time is getting in my way, and I know when I'm off. And the moment I start losing things again, I know I'm disconnected in a way. So it's a sign for me that I'm.
Yeah, think about energy bounty 9 is also the place of mastery. And so, in theory, if we do something for 1,000 days straight, we master it.
1,000 days. I was going for 40, but I'll up my.
Mastery. I was going for 2. I'll take
1,000 weeks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you that's around 7 years.
We go from mystery to mastery, and that's literally what you're doing with your soul and your gift. And so it's this beautiful dance of always being able to figure out, for you to master things, like your intuitive abilities, for example, it's a cinch. Like, if you really are just in alignment and you're letting things flow, think about like Princess Diana energy, how she would say a few words and nothing else. And that was the message, like, boom, mic drop. Like, she held this divine feminine grace. Like, that is your gift. It's a goal. Sorry, I blew myself.
Well, it's funny because when you were saying 9, I kept hearing like 9. I heard it like 3 times. That's why I was like, what is up with the 9? I want to hear more about the 9.
Yeah.
When you were reading.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the first number that triggered, like, brought my attention to it.
And we've had lots of talks, Kristen, about you working on mastering yourself. Like you're doing so much work and you're not stopping just because things have gotten better. You really want to master it. And that's what you said to me. So that's exactly ties into what Cass is saying.
Yeah, it's every day. That's what I do every day. Every single moment I wake up in the morning, I'm practicing mastery. I consider myself a practicing master. That's what I do from the moment I wake up until even while I'm dreaming, I still work.
I'm practicing functioning. That's what I'm aiming for. So that I don't know what number I am, but that's got to be one of them.
Well, what's one thing that to like strengthen our 9? I even hate saying it. I even like get triggered saying it. Is wear the color white.
I love the color
White every day. Do that for 1,000 days. All white every day. Wearing white helps us with that grace, with that divine feminine. You have to be aware of all of the subtleties in the room. Things before things spill, you have to know, right? You can't get that spaghetti sauce on that white shirt. So that is like,
that's
interesting. Clients who have like karma 9s and they're like, that's some bull.
That's very grounding. It's true. It's very grounding. You have to be aware of your surroundings if you're wearing white at all times. White sneakers.
And your diet, because you're not going to hide any weight.
Yeah, and when you walk, like, and you're wearing white sneakers, it's like every step matters. When you're wearing a shirt, like coffee, spaghetti.
That's what I'm saying. You know, this is not the season for me to master my 9. It's just not. Like, I had to change my shirt a couple times today because I had like, potato.
Oh, my sister.
Oh yeah, baby.
Wait, she did. I have a white bird. I have a white cat. I have a white dog. I have a white couch. Like everything is white everywhere.
Did you see Mr. Jomber said that in the comments?
That's my sister. She's
I love it.
White cat, white dog. She's right.
Oh, I love
white it. White is like my thing. So
I love that.
But pretty much you were all spot on with every single thing you said. Like, in fact, talkers, I got to show you my keys. I just pulled them out. I got to show you.
She knows where they are.
We'll see how long it takes her to come back. We'll put a timer on it and see.
It's so bad that like I have to have my wallet on my keys if I lose it. This keeps this is a flash.
Wow.
This is I lose everything if I don't have it like this.
Dane Cook does a skit and he talks about like, why do I have so many keys? Did I like murder a janitor in my sleep and take his keys? Like that's what I'm thinking of.
I don't have one thing. One thing gets clicked off of that, it's gone. Everything disappears. But I know that that's when I'm in the time dimension, which is not in my 5D dimension, that's when my energy is vibrating lower, when I start losing things. It's a sign and symptom of my lower vibration.
Interesting.
My language. But I love that. I can't wait to hear all about it, guys. That was pretty amazing.
So cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so what about Jennifer's numbers, or do we want to bring someone else on for a reading?
Let's bring somebody else on. Yeah, I mean, of course, but I'll schedule my own appointment with you later.
Yeah, that was.
I'll give somebody else.
Yeah, because I love it. Because I bet you, like, all of the things that I need to work on or can work on, or just realizing your potential and maybe a confirmation that the things that I'm experiencing every day are actually in alignment with the numerology. It helps to, in a way of validation, because while I know these things about me, I've not had anyone be like, yeah, that's you. And now it just makes a little more sense to me. So that's not my fault. I've been losing my keys for my whole life. It's in the numbers.
We don't give external power away.
Yeah. Not my fault.
Oh my God,
Sticking with it. Not my fault. Because it's really been a struggle. My entire life, it's been a real struggle, losing my credit card. But when I'm in a really good metaphysical place, I don't lose them. That's when I know, I've experienced both states of my life. All right. So are you okay bringing on someone, Cassandra?
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, cool. I would like to bring on, let me just see who I have here. Um, did Leslie pop? There's on my left. Let's bring Leslie. You want to come on? Sure. Okay, good. She has that.
Hi, Leslie.
Yay.
Hi.
Hi, Leslie. Welcome. I'm so glad you joined us. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Actually, I think March. Last time I
Has it
saw you
been
was at Renegades at March.
Oh, nice.
okay?
We have it
Well, we're
coming
gonna
up
be at
again this
Renegades.
month.
Yeah, I think this month again. I'm trying to get my sister to come. Hopefully she comes. Like, please come. Hopefully she shows up. All right. So Cassandra, I will let you take the stage and we will watch what you do.
Yeah.
Well, Leslie, let me ask you this. Do you want to, are you comfortable giving me your birthday? And then we could do,
5/11/1960.
She's comfortable.
There you go. I'm 63. I admit it.
5/11/1960, right?
Yes.
Such a fun subject. I love it.
I love
Kristen,
you have an 11 in your chart.
I want to let you know that you and Joseph were absolutely right. We are 14 and a half weeks pregnant now. And he predicted it would be a little girl, so it's Amara Ray. We just did the gender reveal
Oh, that's
yesterday.
Now,
And,
did you know you were pregnant at the last?
no, we had just had a miscarriage.
But
I
he said
remember
the
that.
baby's coming, right? We were all three there, and he said the baby's coming.
The
Right?
baby was still
He
there.
said the baby's coming. Yeah, he said start trying in July. You'll be pregnant by the end of the year. And I was right. March. Well, St. Patrick's Day is when I had my brain tumor out, and we had gone to Renegades. What it was like later in March, the end of March, and yeah, he said try again in July. You'll be pregnant by the end of the year, and it'll be a little girl. And he's 100% right.
Of
Oh, I
course
love
he is.
it.
Magic 8 Ball Joe. Anyone who
Yep.
wants to
Right.
know, ask Joe a Magic 8 Ball question. When is the baby coming, girl or boy? Now I know
Yeah,
he's right. I want to say like 98,
he was
99%.
right with both. Michael's 3 now, and Amara's going to be born. Actually, the due date is the day before her miscarriage, like 1 year anniversary of
Wow.
her miscarriage. So
Wow.
yeah,
I know she was in a tough spot at that time, so I hope
right.
it brought her a
Because it
little.
had just happened. It was like
Right.
the 28th, I think, was the day that it happened, and then we were there like March 31st or something.
And I remember it kind of came out of the blue, the reading. Like he was
Right.
he
Oh,
was
it was
going to
after
somewhere
the
else and
show.
it came right. It was like
Wasn't
very
it after the
random the
show?
way
I think.
it was in
Yeah.
between people.
Oh,
Between
okay.
people, he was walking. He's like, "Up over here,
He was
you."
walking by and then he's like, "Hey."
Yeah.
Baby's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
honestly,
let's see what
Leslie, I do hope like we are going to be working on a documentary to capture a lot of these stories. So if you're interested,
Cool.
we'll definitely be reaching out in the next few months. We're trying to get as many
That's all
stories
right.
together.
I have 12 years worth of stories with Joseph.
That's
love
awesome.
it. Wow.
All right,
Is it-
What you
Cassandra.
got for us, Cass?
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. So, what's fascinating? I have a couple questions for you based on your specific soul number. And so, in sort of like a coaching setting, I would do this. I hope you're comfortable, you're open.
I don't care. Go for it.
Fantastic. Here we are. How would you say you are with setting boundaries, both personal, professional?
Very wishy-washy. My boundaries are not made of fences. My boundaries are a wall, and that's about it.
That's helpful. Thank you.
And it also depends on who the person is, because my grandson has me wrapped around his finger. But yeah, my boundaries are. I have to think for a day or two about things that happen, and then decide if I liked it or not.
Yep, that makes sense to me. And then my other question would be is how do you feel about risk? Like when a risk comes into your...
I'm a risk taker. Your sound just disappeared.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm back on sound. Anyone
I'm
else?
back on.
I can hear.
You good?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay. Cass, you good?
Yeah, it keeps going on and off. I think it's on. We're gonna go with it. There's so much energy. Everybody's like trying to come through. I'm like, no, we're gonna read numerology. Dang it! We can talk about corn stalks. I don't know why that's happening right now, but cool. So your soul number happens to be an 11, and so an 11 is obviously 2 ones put together. So
Let me try, Jen, to take me and you off and see if it helps.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's funny because 1111 shows up for me a lot.
So what I would say to you, I'm just gonna have to keep unmuting myself.
Yeah, that's okay.
What I would say to you is that remember that the 11 is the spiritual healer. This is our command center. This is where literally just keeps doing it. I wonder if I stop my can. I might try that if it keeps doing this.
We can't hear you.
I know it keeps going in and out. I just need to ask you, Leslie. Sorry, gonna keep looking at the mute button. But the soul number is your self-identity and your self-concept. How you view the world.
Okay.
And so you are meant to
not hear this reading because you keep cutting in and out. Oh.
Yeah, no.
There we go. It happens. Yes, it does.
It keeps muting you, Cassandra?
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Maybe, Cassandra, click yourself off and then click yourself back on. Sometimes that helps.
Sometimes that reboots it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, have her log off.
Oh, yeah. Joe says to log off and then log back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that'll reset.
That's what happened to me last time.
I've had to do it about a dozen times already tonight. Every time
really?
I mess with my earbud, like yell would just disappear, the sound. And then I'd go back in, come back out, go back in, come back out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a good reboot. Hopefully that works.
Modern technology. You know, in the 80s, nobody knew what a dropped call was.
That's true.
Well, all right, Leslie, in the meantime, let's see.
There we got Cass back. Let's see.
Cass back?
Yeah. Cass, how you doing?
Good.
She's scared to talk.
I know. I'm like, if I talk, is it going to go on mute? Okay, Leslie, let's try. Let's try and do this so I can help you out here. Your soul number, your self-identity, is this like, it literally defines the spiritual leader. Like that is where you're meant to self-identify. And it's funny that you said 12 years in Joe's world, because that adds up to 3. And to me, that means that it's time to create this space for you. It's time to come into the self-identity of the spiritual healer. Whether or not you're doing the work now, I don't know. I feel like you are. What
she goes.
or not. But this is really the space that you are meant to be. What you need to do is work through your 2. And so strengthening your second energy body is what you need to do. So that means starting to set boundaries in anything that you can. Healthy boundaries, even if they're saying the word no is also a boundary that you can do.
job, like intervaling it though.
I'm so sorry.
It's just it's how it goes.
Yeah, it happens. It's happened to every one of us on here. But
It's because you're dealing with spirits.
True.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, I bring a lot of fire and fairy energy. I don't know if you believe in fairies. Oh, it's totally them.
I do. Well, they're mischievous, aren't they?
Yep.
Mhm. Yes, exactly.
so maybe
They're
they're
also
trying.
having time, but they're stealing your keys too. Okay.
Oh, I know that. I do know that. I do know that. Thank you for saying that, because it's not like I tell that many people, but I have this mischievous little things around me all the time. They really like me too, because I save all the bugs and the bees and the frogs and the butterflies. So they're like, thank you. They honor me for that.
But they still like to play with you.
Yes. Well, it's all a sign. The moment you lose something, it's always a message. It's always a sign. Nothing ever happens accidentally ever. So, all right. Well, Cassandra, so what you can do maybe, Cassandra, is email me and then email Leslie if you have any details for us a little further. I don't know how much longer we can stay on because the computer is glitching, I think, a little too much. But I feel like we just got started here, and I have so many more questions. And I don't think we got into even like the mediumship or like spirit guide. So we'd love to have you on again. If you want to come on again, maybe next month we can like continue this process and set up some readings, and we can support and promote. I'd love to hear. I want more about the energy bodies. Like I have more questions.
Totally more questions.
Yeah.
And the best way to get a reading with you would be Instagram, right? That's the best way to reach out for a reading?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Absolutely. And there's, if anyone wants it, I made one of my classes free. So it's Meet Your Spirit Team. Leslie, this actually might be really great for you. It's got some meditations and whatnot. I do everything through the Telegram app. If you go to my Instagram, you can either DM me, I can send it straight to you, or we can get in touch there. And I'll make sure to send Kristen over your initial chart for you.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And I'll send it
So
to you,
cool.
Leslie. I'll make sure. I think we're definitely on each other's Facebooks, right, Leslie? I think you're on my Facebook.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let's see. I did that.
Good job.
Contact
Good job.
Jennifer. Contact us all.
Wait.
All right.
We're learning, Cass. We're learning.
We're learning.
Like it had to wait until Leslie.
I know, it's wild.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny because I listened to you for a whole hour and you didn't mute the
We
whole
didn't
hour.
have
You
any
were talking.
glitches. No.
Nope. With
Leslie,
everybody else.
You probably have some fairies running around in your life too.
I think so.
I'm sure I do.
Little sprites. I want to talk more about fairies. I love fairy talks. I have a 30-second story. My daughter, I did not realize how truly invested her life was into the tooth fairy. Like she really believed in her heart and soul the tooth fairy was real. And she was like 9, and I didn't know that she truly believed in the tooth fairy. So at 9, I never mentioned that. It wasn't a thing. And I thought one of her friends at school must have told her. So she said she loses a tooth and molar. And I said, well, lose it at your dad's house, man. You get a lot more money over there. And she's like, what? And I was like, well, what do you mean? Why would I say that? I mean, obviously you're going to get more money at your dad's. She's like, what are you talking about, Mom? What are you telling me right now? I was like, oh no.
Traumatic moment.
Dramatic. Sobbed. I'm telling you, I just ripped
West Virginia, there is a Santa Claus.
So guess what I did? Y'all will appreciate this. I Googled YouTube photos of fairies, videos of real fairies, signs of fairies in Ireland. And I said, look, maybe the tooth fairy might not be real, but look at how many other people on the internet believe in fairies. I believe in fairies. I think they're real. And I kind of saved the moment that way. So, and a reader told me I have lots of fairies around me, like all the time. So I would really love to talk about fairies at some point if you ever want to.
Kristen, why don't we log just you and Cass on? and see if the connection gets any better. Like maybe it's me or Leslie. Let's see if we have you two talking, if it's any better. Want to give it a shot?
You can give it a shot.
Yeah. And take me off so you guys can see if it's any better.
Something keeps. No, there's something going on. But Cass, come on again. Promise that you'll come on again, and maybe we can talk about fairies and astrology. Yeah. All right.
All of it.
Mwah. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. Mwah. Bye. Hold on. Let's put her on here.
Bye, Cass. Thank you. This is great. We have so many more conversations.
Yeah, we'll definitely set it up for like next month or something. We'll have you back on for sure.
And I'm going to get my own appointment. Can't wait to find out my numbers. Love you.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's do that. Did I do it? Is it right? Okay.
Yep, you got it.
Did it.
So interesting.
Yeah, that was so cool. Now I want to know everything about my chart.
100%. I think it's important.
Everything she said was like perfectly accurate.
And it's really cool that you have 2 9s like that. Like, I'm sure that being your strength, and I mean, I don't understand it, but I think that would help you a lot making decisions. And
well, even just knowing what I can work on and what my, she's right about saying like in this particular lifetime, these are things that you came here to work on. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me focus on those versus being a little scattered and not knowing where my energies are best served.
100%. Because we're all guessing, like
we don't have a numerology chart. Apparently we need a numerology chart. Who knew?
I will take any roadmap someone will give me. That's great.
Please. Okay, so before we go to readings, because I've had a few people ask for readings. So guys and gals, we're going to stay on just another maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and do like 1 or 2 readings if you want. And then click on, I saw a couple in the comments that were giving me names and stuff. But in the meantime, I wanted to put some memes on.
Mm-hmm.
You
got it going? Yay.
I mean, we'll see. Let's see if they worked. Let's see if they worked. All right. So this is something that she did mention. I think we can still hear us even though we put it on. Oh, I got to take these silly things off. Okay. So let's hide this one. And let's hide this one. Okay. So this has been like a little theme. And even she said it like that she was mirroring back to someone. And this is something I've heard a lot, which is your perception of me is a reflection of you. And my reaction to you is an awareness of me. So what a lot of us don't fully want to acknowledge is when certain people in our lives are behaving in particular ways that we may not love, we really are reflecting that kind of energy and actually bringing that kind of energy out in that particular person. And people really are mirrors. So when you start noticing things are glitching around you, like the person in the car, the neighbor, the friend, things are a little unsteady or things aren't going well, we really want to check our energy that we're projecting, And she said it. So this is something else we'll have to mention when she comes too. She said, do you remember what she said about that? There's a reflection. I was like,
she was talking about with coaching, she's able to knowing the numbers, she's able to reflect it back more to them because she understands what emotional bodies are going on, I believe. But it's true. They say the things that trigger you the most that you hate in other people are usually the things you have to work on yourself. So
it's like a mirror.
Mm-hmm. It makes total sense.
And I know that when things are really great energetically and vibrationally for me, everyone around me is just beautiful and lovely and energetically flawless. And when I'm stressed or there's too much time or things are off, then everyone around me is cranky. And so I really think I've really seen this be true. I have seen this be true. All right, let's see what this one says. I didn't get your funny ones up, Jen.
These are good.
Right. The higher your vibration, the more beauty you'll begin to see.
Just what you were saying.
Yeah, because when things are good, you're like, oh my God, that bird is beautiful. And I think it's speaking to me. And look at the petals unfolding. And look at the way the daffodil, whatever, blah. And then when you're cranky, you're just like, there's bugs in my way. Like they're spraying the side of the lawn. Like, look at the trash on the side of the road. What kind of world are we living in? So it's really like a shift in perspective. When you're lower in vibrations, everything is just irritating and annoying. And then when you shift higher, you're like, everything is beautiful again. I've experienced.
And supposedly the fastest way to shift is gratitude. That's that's the part we all need to work on, because it can shift you very quickly back into that high vibe.
It can. It's a hack. Like if you're,
it's a good way of putting it.
If you're not in like a trauma position, if you're in a trauma situation where you just got into a fight or a wreck or something, there's a ladder to get to gratitude, because it's very hard to go and shift into gratitude that fast. But if you're just cranky and overall irritated, gratitude is the best medicine. You know, gratitude's the best medicine. Okay, wait, this one's funny. I think you'll like this one. I like this one. This is you just stop being lonely and talk to people. Someone's like talking to me and I'm like, no, never mind. What was I thinking? I didn't realize you were similar like that. Like I have to interact with people because they're around, but it's not something that I crave. A lot of human interaction.
No, especially if you ever work, like you're in the people business, working retail, working with people.
And I'm in
you get peopled out.
Yeah, I'm peopled out. I love you guys, but
yeah, totally love you. I'm tired.
I'm tired too. But also, when you're around all the people, your energy links. And so it's hard to be linking to everyone's energy all day long, especially if their energy is so different from yours vibrationally. And then this one's different and that one's different. And you as an empath are going to link in a lot. Me too. I can't help it. I link in so quick. So if someone's energy is off, I'm just tank so fast. And it's like an uncomfortable feeling.
But when we're around our tribe, it actually gives us energy. That's when we're around people who are metaphysical.
That's so good. When I'm around my metaphysical tribe, then I'm like elevated. I'm like, I can 100%. Breathe again. Like the flames, like you're lit, I'm lit. We're all this big fire of light. That's why it's so important to find your tribe. I said yoga, like just people that elevate your energy versus people who drain your energy. A lot of times you can't help it at work and family. You can't help who you're around. It's work and family. Right. So you just have to make sure I have to make sure I have created a proper balance for my energy, which I recently have not. So I'm giving myself advice right now. All right, this one's long. Let's see what it says. I just picked 4 in my thing. Oh, this is probably a good thing.
Very relevant.
You can be a kind person and still say no. I like that. Like, no, I can't do that for you. I am so sorry. I cannot, pick up, your cat from the vet for the 5th time this month. No. Prioritize your needs. Sometimes we don't do that. It's like what everyone else needs. And when we forget to take care of ourselves, we're so busy taking care of other people.
Set boundaries. For Leslie.
Set boundaries. It's for everyone. I definitely need to set boundaries too. But you know what? I don't know how to set them because I don't know what they are. But I've recently made a pact to learn them. Because I'm so used to just whatever it is, I'm here to serve in all ways. But then I'm like, wait, that didn't feel quite right. And I'm a little upset about that. Oh, that's because you have a boundary. It was crossed. That's what it feels like. I'm like, oh, okay. I have to learn that. What's the next one say? Because I can't disagree with people. Yeah, that's a big thing too. Disagreeing with people, because everyone's so afraid to do that now. Like people are afraid to post how they feel about things. They're afraid to speak to families about how they're truly feeling. Like, I like this person. And we're afraid of the ramifications of disagreeing with someone. But what I have found, which everyone I think can agree, is that we are all just as different as our fingerprints. So you do not feel the exact same way about any topic that I feel. We have maybe similarities and maybe we're in alignment, but your thoughts and feelings are as different from mine as your fingerprint. And so we have to learn how to live with each other and not try to bomb each other like in Israel.
We can disagree and we don't have to make it a deal
with each other.
Right.
They're bombing people and killing people because they have different beliefs on how the world is supposed to be run. So they're killing each other. Okay, we need to send them this meme maybe. Okay, be honest. Yeah, and that's hard to do. sometimes it's easier just to either deflect, not say the truth, you know, but that's, I think, crossing a boundary. So being honest about, hey, this is how I feel. It's not like I'm going to light you on fire. This is how I feel, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be honest. Challenge poor behavior. Walk away from toxic environments. That's good, guys. If it's not healthy, if things are not healthy, figure out a way to walk away. And if you can't do that, bring a lot of crystals to work. Douse yourself in salt water, you know, pray, meditate. Toxic environments are really unhealthy for our souls. We get sick when we live in toxic environments. It's okay to make mistakes. Stand up for yourself and protect your time and space. I love it. There we go. There's some rules for the day, some things we can practice to work on. These are things I need to work on, so I found it relevant. Okay. Oh, I have an interesting, 30-second interesting story that happened when I was away this weekend. I was at the Hard Rock to see Matt Rife, which was so fun. I had to figure out how to take this off. And a woman came up to me and found out what I do. And she was like, here's $5. I think she gave me $10. She starts listing names. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm just sitting there. She starts listing names. What about Michael? And as she says it, all of a sudden, all of this energy starts coming through. And I'm like, oh, well, Michael really, really loved you. He really liked you. She's like, yeah, he did. She's like, how about Joey? And I'm like, I could feel everything about Joey and how he felt about her. And then she goes, how about Dawn? And she must have listed 20 people. And I'm just kind of there. I had a little bit to drink. So I was just like reading from her for everyone. And then she was like, half of those people have passed away. Half of them were alive. And I could read every single energy of every single person that she said with accuracy, which is something I've never done before at all. Half were alive, half were not.
Cool.
And then she even said it again. What about this Michael? And I thought, is this a new Michael? And then she said it again. I'm like, I'm sorry. All I feel is the same Michael's energy. She's like, yeah, it was the same Michael. I was trying to trick you. I was like,
I was just tricking you.
I was like, damn, lady. I've had a little bit to drink, and I don't know if I should be doing this right now. Anyway, it was a new skill that I didn't know I had. So I might try to practice it. And I, interestingly enough, I couldn't feel the difference between the ones who were alive versus the ones not alive. So I don't know, I probably need to work on that. I guess several of them were passed. And then she brings her husband over and she gets him give this girl names. And he's like, I don't want to do that. She's like, do it. And he's like, how about Andrea? And then he goes, what about this guy, Anthony? And then I'm like, and then I go into this whole thing. This guy, Anthony, is not good. And then what are we going to do with work? So anyway, it was a pretty fun and interesting experience and a new gift I didn't know I had. So I thought, I've learned.
And it ties into your current gift where, you can connect to somebody across the world with a name.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Apparently it doesn't matter if they're alive or not. But now I could only feel the energy of how they felt about her. So it's still the same gift I have as far as like whatever the energy that was around in her field, I could tell that. But I couldn't get like names. I didn't know what kind of work they did or anything, but I could tell this guy was trying to do something shady with work. But maybe I never practiced. So I could see that, but yes, maybe I can do more. I just haven't ever really given like practice doing it. So anyway.
Thank you to the girl at the casino for opening you up.
I was like, thank you so much for showing me that I can do that because I had never ever done anything like that before. So. And it was accurate, which I was really, and I don't know. I'm like, am I guessing here? And I'm just going and reading what I feel. And she's like, you're right on everything you said. I was like, oh my God. I can't wait to tell Jennifer.
So cool.
You're gonna tell Jen. All right. So let's see. If anyone wants a reading, kind of let us know. I think we'll pick. I have Juanita. Juanita, do you want to come on? You coming on, Juanita? Yeah. Okay, we'll bring Juanita on.
Hold on.
I like her painting up there. That's cool.
Yes. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. All right, you are smiling, so I hope things are good. Can you hear?
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. All right, perfect. You want a reading?
Yeah, the last time I had first couple times that you did my cards, I had a lot of dark energy around me and bad stuff. And then just like 2 weeks ago, you said I had a lot of light, like bright light, you know. So it was very,
That's a
very
nice
good.
change.
I left a bad. Yes.
Good.
I'm in a better mindset right now.
You look better.
Yeah, your
got
energy
color
feels
in your
great.
face.
We were just commenting
Thank
on
you.
that. Love it.
I had it off
Oh, it's your
Pinterest
white
or
and your
something,
dark.
and I
What?
told
Oh, look. It looks good.
That's
today.
wonderful.
you can see the dark one.
Yeah, that's
Now I
really
now I know. And this is so good. The light and the dark is so important for everyone to understand which wolf they're feeding, which lion they're feeding, which one they're listening to. Because you're going to have one that's going to tell you, take care of yourself, stand up for your boundaries, make healthy choices. And then you're going to have another one going, go to bed and drink that bottle of wine, eat pizza, and like be that. I mean, that's what I
And I can't have tea, so
what?
I can't have dairy, so that really sucks.
Even more. Yeah. Drink wine, and your wine self will be like, eat the dairy anyway. So we got to make sure we know which one we're feeding. Be mean to the neighbor. Be nice to the neighbor.
Yeah, I try to look to the good side, not the bad side.
So yes, you're right. Your cards are looking great. They look really good. I do see that you've moved into a creation phase, which means you've really cleaned up your environment. So things in your energy are moving again, and you're able to really create from this point the life that you want. You have the paintbrush now, and I think the control is back in your hands. So this is a good thing.
I've been painting rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the paintbrush.
Here's the paintbrush. I see a paintbrush. You know, I can see it now.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's called the creator. So when people, this is why I always say for people to watch their environments, because if their environments are like toxic, then they can't create anymore. That's the number one sign. You just don't have the desire. Your chakras are closed. Your creative energy is not flowing. And so I do have I do see you're coming to an end of a phase, right? I see that you want to make sure that your relationship with time is in the present moment, which means, bring your energy into what we have right now in front of us. Don't go into the head. Don't go into the future. Don't go into the past. Really focus on the beauty that you have right in front of you right now. I see some healing that's gone on. Now, a little bit of advice is go with the flow. So there's probably some things that are going on that you're going to need to go with the flow, meaning when you feel that feeling of, I want to fight this, or I want to battle this, or I want to stand up for this, or I want to hold my ground and stand my ground. Now is really not the time for that. Now is the time for you to go with the flow and allow life to unfold. We might not understand everything that's happening, but we're going to let it happen. I don't know if you're in a relationship or have a relationship.
I have a friend.
Thinking of a relationship. Something. I see something.
Yeah.
I see something. So just like,
good.
So what I see is with this particular advice, it's a bit of advice, is we have in our mind an idea of how we really want our person to be. We have our thoughts about how we want a person to be. And I want you to really honor your feelings on this. So if you think that you have a lot of expectations and you think maybe your expectations might be very difficult, or do you feel like maybe your boundaries are being crossed, or you feel like you can really work with this person because this person's healthy for you. So just really make sure that you're being honest with yourself and that your feelings and your emotions and your energy comes first in this situation. You want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself here. And only you can do that. Like, only you got to be like, Juanita, how you feeling right now? How you feeling? Because that's what you want to honor. Okay.
Right.
I do see that there might be there's something else. Sometimes when we've been through things in our life, we tend to see other people who maybe haven't gone through certain things and we think, well, maybe they're better than me, or maybe they didn't make the choices I've made, or maybe they're further along in their life than I am. Just make sure you're not doing that to yourself. Make sure you're not looking and thinking someone else's grass is greener on the other side, because it's not. Trust me, there are hidden things in their closets too. None of their shoes are organized at all, right? It's silly, but keep in mind that, like your fingerprints, you are literally absolutely perfect and really important here on this earth. And every feeling that you have is as important as your fingerprint and as unique. And so we can't look at their life and think, well, why don't I have blonde hair? Why don't I have curly hair? Why is my job this and that? You know, don't do that. You're unique and special. And trust me, they have their own set of problems that you don't even want any part of. And just make sure that you're watching out for things that may be causing you a little bit of stress, again, in your environment. You've done so well. So make sure you're monitoring your stress levels. And if things start like boiling up to where you're like, make that courage and take care of yourself and be like, there's things I need to cut out and there's things and choices I need to make where maybe I can't do all of the things that I want to do right now. I need to maybe pick 3 things that I can do and do those well versus the 12 or 15, 30 things you think you have to do, you know? Okay. Jennifer?
It was all on point.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Yes. Jen, you have anything to pipe in on?
Your energy seems amazing. Like, I think you really have your personal power back, and don't forget that feeling. Like, don't let anyone bring you down. Like, you made this change that made you so happy. You can always make yourself happy. You don't need other people for that. So keep doing it. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Really, you seem really recovery.
Yeah, you're doing amazing. You just, it's always hard, but now you're seeing the light and the rewards.
And it's worth fighting for. It's worth fighting for that freedom, that life, that, you know, so just stay strong. Like exactly what Jen said.
Stay strong.
Spot on. Stay strong. Take care of yourself.
Awesome.
Thank you, Anita. Check
Nice
in.
to see you.
Check in anytime.
Keep painting.
Yes, keep
I
painting
will.
and putting them around. I love those beautiful rocks when I
So
find them.
nice.
I really love them. I find them very special.
Oh,
Okay.
I love that. Heart of gold. Wow, those are gorgeous.
Yay, it's beautiful. You know, people place them like on trees and they place them in special places. And I remember walking and just seeing them all along the road. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, bring somebody joy.
Yeah, that's my plan. Kindness rocks.
Yes, I love the rocks. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for spreading the rocks. All right. Bye. Good night. I love that.
That was cool. You saw the actual paintbrush.
I did.
That was cool. Yeah. And she's like, wait, here. This is what I'm doing.
I've been painting. I saw her with the paintbrush and I was like,
I know you said it right out loud right away. That was funny.
See a paintbrush. Yeah, ever since this weekend, I think that woman unlocked some hidden powers in me that I didn't know I had. It was so funny. I'd never been put in a situation like that, you know, and I was a little tipsy, so I didn't have that like fear like you can. There's like fear. I have such a fear of saying the wrong thing or making a mistake or not being right at all. Like, what if I'm just talking and I'm totally wrong about everything I'm saying? So I had this like, and because I drank a little bit, so I was like, what do I?
Why
not? Yeah. Oh, so I have to. And
Spirit was waiting for that opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, it probably was. These things happen. These strange things happen sometimes.
Oh yeah.
All right, and they said nicely put gratitude. I can show these things. How fun is this? Hold on, there we go. Let's see.
What are you showing? Oh, cool.
Did I do it right? Oh, look.
Yep,
I
you got it.
Comments. Here we go. Oh, Mr. John. Yes, gratitude. Gratitude is so beautiful, guys. If you're ever feeling weird, if you're ever feeling like low, if you're ever feeling stressed, go with gratitude first and foremost. Now, if you feel, so sometimes, and I can only say this because I've been here where I've had some trauma, some upset where I'm like, I am not grateful for anything. I'm really mad right now and I'm not grateful for anything, which I've experienced this. And it's at that point I realized I need to take about 3 steps backwards from gratitude. Try gratitude first. If you're not there, take some steps backwards and realize that like you have to, it's easier to accept that whatever's happened has already happened. we can't go back and rewind time. So accepting that, you know, your tire is busted helps. Then forgiving the nail, forgiving, you know, the stupid guy who was supposed to plug your tire, didn't plug it right. Then moving up this rung. All right. Accept that the tire popped, forgive the players. And then maybe at that point you're like, fine, I'm fine. I'm thankful that I have a tire. You know, sometimes you got to like climb up the ladder.
You're very correct on that. Sometimes you're just not there yet.
Sometimes it's not there yet. But like when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling a little off, gratitude. I sometimes will sit in bed before I even move, especially if I wake up and I'm like, I'm still here on this planet again.
What the heck? Not this again.
Guys. Gratitude helps. I'll stay in bed and just be thankful that I have covers, be thankful that, you know, I just go through it all, and then it helps to get out of bed just a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. We have, oh, let's see. Hold on. And I see Candy. Oh, and Candy said, oh, here we go. I like this. Gotta love the Fae. See, she's a fairy fan too.
Yep.
So
we need to have a Fae section.
We have to talk about this. I agree. I went to see Sarah Spiritual one time for an event, and she said, I have fairies all around me. And then I went home and started talking to the fairies in the little garden, and then they started talking back to me, which I was not expecting. I don't do it as much anymore, but like they totally talked to me. And yeah, it was strange. I don't tell everyone that. I'm so glad I'm not
can say it here.
Here's the thing is they are in a different vibrational pattern.
They are, and they're different incarnation than we are. It's a totally different. Some people believe that they come before incarnating as human, and some people believe that it's after incarnating as human. So it's a tough, we don't really know, but they're cool.
No. Yeah, they are totally cool. Let's see another one. I believe in mermaids too, y'all, just so you know. But they just found an ocean under the entire earth, and I'm pretty sure that there's lots of mer people who live down there. Just saying. I totally believe that.
Oh, I totally believe that. They just don't want us to see them.
No, who wants us to see them?
Would you want? You would not. Totally.
We would kill her.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Try to sell it in, 100% at the auction house.
Seals out. I mean, there would be like the mermaid massacre of the human destruction. Like we can't handle it.
We can't be trusted.
We cannot be trusted with the truth. So I think Sarah's going to come on next week again.
Cool. I'm looking forward to Sarah coming on.
Me too. Definitely with mundane people. That's all right. I got it. That's awesome, Kristen. Yay. We got that. Oh, I need to say it. Okay. I didn't see our Drew pipe in today. I was used to him every week.
Where's Drew?
Where's Drew? Drew's always on. All right. And I see Catherine.
What?
We're at Keys on Monday.
Oh, Joe was reminding me we were in the Keys on Monday.
Okay. Well, Sarah will be here. So
cool. I'll be able to tune in from my drink on the beach.
Yeah, enjoy. Well, one of these Mondays I'm away too, but I can't remember which Monday it is at this moment. So it's fine. Okay, so I think that's it. So next week, Sarah and I will be on. And we'll probably talk about aliens, but I want to bring her on and talk about aliens. Well, who knows? We never know what we're going to talk about when we get on. But I've had a couple people say how much they enjoyed our alien talk, and they definitely wanted more.
Perfect.
Okay, now I just want to pipe in because Desiree said, I'm new here. I'm not exactly sure how y'all work, but would love any kind of guidance if possible. Either way, thank you so much. So Dee Dee, I'm not sure if you're still on, but next time, just put like your name and that you want a reading. There's always a link. We love it if you could click on with the link, but if for some reason you can and just say I can only do a reading online, I'll definitely pick a couple names. But make sure that when we call your name, you're still in the feed, and then we'll read for you. So I don't know if you're posting. I think you probably clicked off. But let's just see let's meet Dee Dee. Let's see Dee Dee.
She can always look back at the recording, right?
Always look back. All right, Dee Dee's in good shape. Nothing. She's in celebration. She's in trust. She's got some past life going on. Source. Nothing traumatic happening with Dee Dee. So she's in a good place. So it's good. It's always good.
Good reading.
Check. Make sure. Sometimes if it pulls and it's like 12 bad cards, I'm like, all right, Dee Dee, you need to call me, girl. Let's talk
Don't
about
wait for
this.
tomorrow. Call me tonight.
Oh, wait for tomorrow. I have had that happen before, believe it or not. All right, so let's just review this for 1 second. Here was she was so cool, your friend. I am so glad you brought her on.
So cool.
Oh, it's hit. Oh, we can see it. There it is. Instagram
Yep,
at the
you got
Faith
it.
Alchemist. Y'all, again, like and subscribe. If you're on our YouTube, even if you just go and like it, that helps us. We love that. If you have a cool story about anything, really, and you want to come on, whether it's aliens or fairies or mediumships or angels, or we just love to hear your stories. And furthermore, it's what the documentary is going to be about. So if you have a story of any sort, click in and email us and let us know you have a story to share. And we'll make sure to put you on the list of interviews for documentaries.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Jen, anything else to add? We did our memes. We got everything.
Yeah, I think we got it all. If there's any topics that anyone would like us to discuss, you can send that in to us too, if there's any ideas you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Sounds good. All right. I think we're done. I'm going to play a video. We signing off?
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Till next Monday. Love you. Have a good week. Bye. All right. I'm going to play this one first while we get myself
Is there more to life than what we know? Written by world-renowned psychic medium Joseph Labruto III. Through this amazing collection of channeled messages, you will find the answers to the most basic questions asked by humanity. This book is truly a spiritual journey and awakening to find God. Ron Ash, book reviewer, said, "I found this book extremely difficult to put down." To order your copy of Is There More to Life Than What We Know, visit us at ourjourneyoflife.com. Time to align your mind, body, and soul. Joseph Labruto III received off-planet symbols and colors that carry a specific vibration. Each symbol serves a specific function, such as improving happiness, clarity, intuition, and more. Joseph has put these energetically activated symbols into a set of cards. Now you can benefit from these vibrationally excited symbols. For your set of these cards, go to ourjourneyoflife.com.